בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני העם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה.
Kabela You shall love Adonai with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. Take to heart these commandments I give you this day. Remember and tell all your children to live by my way. Speak of them when you're home, when you're on your way, when you lie down and get up and go about your day, as a sign on your hand and upon your head, on the side of your doorposts, my commandments may always be read. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Vaed. Please remember, observe all these words that I've said, to live and be holy for years straight ahead. For I am your God, out of Egypt I led. Be holy, be righteous, remember the words that I've said. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Vaed. You shall love Adonai with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. Take to heart these instructions I give you this day. Remember and tell all your children to live, oh, to live and remember my ways.
Look around the world, look around your town. Every single age is represented all around. You see them everywhere, every street, avenue or boulevard. Anywhere, any beach, any park or any yard.
The door for generations and generations and the door.
Ecclesiastes said one generation goes and another generation arrives. He got it wrong. For years we all live side by side.
Can you lean on those who arrived here before? Can you learn from those you remember being born?
Can you see that we are all together evermore?
The door for generations and generations and the door for generations and generations and the door for generations and generations and the door
Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Temple Emmanuel. I just wanted to point out something I learned today before we start the service from Noah Aronson. I don't know if you remember Noah Aronson, who was here singing, when was that, January, I think, this past January? He was at
track.
Burning Man, which someday I'll go to.
No, I won't.
And he was taking this class, and part of what they did there, they talked about hugging.
It was a hug workshop.
Okay, I wasn't going to say that. So we went to this hug workshop, right? He's talking about hugging. Now, what you may not realize is whenever you go and hug somebody, you usually go in like this, and you go on the side where your hearts don't touch. So if you go on the other side and you go in like usually you go this way, if you go this way, then your hearts touch as you hug.
You just gave away your high holiday sermon.
Oh. Yeah, that's all right. They don't remember what I said anyway. Anyway, let's get started. We are going to start on page 358. We're starting to really get into High Holy Day mode. This is a psalm that we sing that allows us to really kind of bring our hearts and our souls into the right place. So we'll start with this psalm and bring ourselves through our Shabbat this evening, really to prepare ourselves for next week. Achat sha'alti.
Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai. Achat sha'alti otav akesh. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai. Achat sha'alti otav akesh. Shivti, shivti, beveit Adonai. Shivti, shivti, כל ימי חיי לחזות בנועם אדוני ובקר בחייכלו לחזות בנועם אדוני to gaze upon the beauty of Adonai. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life.
So we had someone who was going to come and light the candles tonight, but instead, why don't we call our newlyweds? We have 2 sets of newlyweds in the room. Right?
Lit the candles many times.
Well, they lit the candles also.
Maybe.
No. York and Shauna, you guys want to come up to light the candles?
And
Brandon and Jasmine are going to come up too. Now, they're like, they've been married so long now, like 3 weeks. You guys have only been not even a full week, so you can talk to them and get advice from them later on as to how to survive your first 3 weeks of marriage together.
Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Bye la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
As we enter into that time of Shabbat, we come out of our week. Actually, I did want to mention first, it's so appropriate to have people that have just gotten married light the candles, because we're still in the month of Elul. Elul, Aleph Lamed Vav Lamed, Ani Ledodi Vidodi Li. It's an acronym that stands for I, my beloved, and my beloved is mine. Very auspicious to get married in this month of Elul. So we welcome our lovebirds, let's call them. But now we get into our week, and you know, it may have been an amazing week this week. It may have been a challenging week. I find that my week is usually a combination of both. But I offer this poem as we begin our Shabbat, and then we'll go quiet for a moment so we can think about what's happened to us this week. Light is a part of every person's life. It may be dim at times. It may shine out into the universe, always there, always within reach. Darkness is a part of every person's life. It may be outshined at times. It may envelop the light at times. Take hold of it. It's seemingly always there, reaching. Shabbat begins with darkness. And in it, we bring on the light. We move aside the darkness so that blossoms shine like the sun's rays and pierce through dense clouds. Welcome back the darkness tomorrow evening. Allow for the balance after light has reigned for this day of rest. Begin to bring out the light. Begin to distance the darkness. Begin to bring on the love of Shabbat. Let's take a moment now to think about our week. We continue to welcome Shabbat with L'chadodi. 20, sorry. Page 20.
Page 20.
20.
There you go.
L'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad shemu tiferet ve'litila l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech, kumi uri, 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 shir daberi, kavod Adonai, alayich nigla l'chadodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
Let us rise and welcome the Sabbath bride as she may come through that door.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uv'sohola toch emunei am segula boi chala l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela.
We continue on 28 with Baruch Hu. Please stay standing.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai.
go to page 34 for the Shema, although there is a tradition to close our eyes as we sing the Shema. This is a prayer that really connects us to each other, it connects us to the world, and it makes us understand that everything is connected to each other as a oneness like no other oneness. So we sing the Shema to bind us all together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malachuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Let's continue on page 40 now with Micha Mocha.
Did I give it to you? Now you're on camera, Liz. Ya Elai, 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 la 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 la. Ya Elai, ya la 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 la. Ya Elai, la la, ya Elai, la 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 la. Ya Elai, 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei feleh, nora tehilot osei feleh. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Elianu ve'amru, Ze Elianu ve'amru, Adonai imlo le'olam va'ed, Adonai imlo le'olam va'ed.
In a moment, we're going to continue on page 46. You may want to put your finger there. Or we're moving to really page 253.
Actually, I wonder if it's on 252. Yeah, we're going to do. I don't even know if I told.
Right.
yes.
This isn't that particular one, but hold on. Let's see if it's on. Is it going to be
The
here?
page before, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
we can go to
that's-
page
that's gonna be good
252
enough.
for this one.
So we did sing this version of Misha Barach by Cantor Randall Schloss. Uh-oh. Spencer, the slides are doing that thing. Sorry. Might have to unplug it. Okay.
Bring that back.
It's moving on there, but not there.
There it goes.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Misha Barach by Cantor Randall Schloss, who's the new cantor at Isaiah. And I was thinking, actually, just moments ago, we've been doing Debbie Friedman's for
Ever?
And I was trying to think, would Debbie be offended if we didn't do Debbie's Misha Barach every week? And what came to mind is that she was, a groundbreaking force in Jewish music. And it took a lot of strength for her to say, this is a new way to pray the words of Misha Barach. So I think that she would be very happy to allow someone else's melody to pray for healing. So the words are basically on the top of 252. Actually, they are. They are on 252, and they'll be on the screen, and we will still take names in between. Mi sheberach avoteinu Avraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Mi sheberach imoteinu Zara, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah. Hu yevarech et hacholim veYishlach lachem refuah shelema.
We especially think of the families of Ida Akiba, Sylvia Alberts, Charles Ehrenberg and Sandra Ehrenberg, Grace Blaustein, Jeffrey Breyer, Marlene Breyer, Jill Kahn, Eitan Chaim, David Childs, Annie Childs, Woody Clark, Jay Clement, Iris Cutler, Nero Smeraldo, Beatrice Feldman White, Paige Feldman, Judy Fenton, Marcos Garcia, Patty Goodman, Joel Golbin, Andy Hale, Helene Hale, Sis Klein, Valerie Kolaric, Cookie Lifshin, Kathleen Agnes McCarthy, Sheila Merowitz, Kathy Murray, David Pick, Howard Rosen, Dorothy Salkin, Peter Schifrin, Lindy Sobel, Mabube Soleimani, Bill Terry, Phyllis Torres, Irving Villesanor, Harava Harona Batzvia Yosef, Helena Wachtel, Paula Warner, Sonia Anwegi, Michael Wolin, Andy Wu, Yudit Bat Nehama Vemordechai, and Howard Zellico.
Lois Lebman, Rita Newman, Audrey and Judith Bennis, Lupe Diaz and Mary Berry, Howard Zager, the victims of gun violence, Karen Alexander, Judy Fenton. Adam Royal, Deborah Schulman, Sue and Andrea Blinn and Selma Weiss.
Refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, venomar amen.
We now turn back to page 46 as we enter into the Amidah, our standing prayers. These are our own personal prayers. We'll rise together, say the first line, and then we'll go quiet through the Amidah. And when you're finished with your own Amidah, prayers from your heart, prayers from the Siddur, you may be seated. And when we're all sitting, then we will continue with the service. Adonai Tzvatai Tiftach.
Adonai tzvatai tiftach, Adonai tzvatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha, ufi yagid
On this last Shabbat before we officially welcome the high holidays, the New Year next Friday, I offer, it's not up there, this prayer Ve'al Kulam by Michael Hunter Oakes. Something I wish we could do every year on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, asking for forgiveness on behalf of all. But there's so much beautiful music, so I offer it tonight. Am I there for those who need me? Giving of my heart completely. Have I been caring and have I been patient? Have I forgiven without reservation? Do I take my days for granted? Treated others even-handed? And shown compassion to the homeless stranger? Have I been humble before my Creator? Ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, Elo aslichot ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, Elo aslichot ve'al kulam. Have I treaded lightly on the planet? Have I held fast to our commandments? And have I raised my voice against injustice? Have I been giving or have I been selfish? Ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, Elo aslichot ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, Elo aslichot ve'al kulam. Selach lanu, mechal lanu, kaper lanu, ve'al kulam. Selach lanu, mechal lanu, kaper lanu, ve'al kulam. Ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, Elo aslichot ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, Elo aslichot ve'al kulam.
I've always felt that we are incredibly fortunate. Let me rephrase that. Those who live by the ebb and flow of the Jewish calendar are incredibly fortunate, which I guess includes all of us that are here tonight, for sure. Some people online as well, but it also includes those that are going to come together a week from tonight, right in this space for Rosh Hashanah. So right now, it's as if we're situated on the edge of the new year. We're between 5783, 5784. And tomorrow night, if you don't know, is Slichot. We'll make that announcement later up at Wise Temple. And that is really when the season starts in earnest. There are a couple starting times. One is the beginning of the month of Elul, but Slichot really is the time when we start to think about what we've done over this year, reflect on our lives as to whether we've been the kind of people we yearn to be, if we even know what that is, what we yearn to be. So how fortunate we have this moment, right? Several moments, in fact. We have tonight, we've got tomorrow night, we've got next week, we have 10 days between. We've got a good amount of time here that we can kind of get our souls in place so we can have a fulfilling year. So we're going to think about how we can be better people. It's as if God is in front of us saying, I put before you life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life so that you may live. That's this week's Torah portion. Literally that line I just said. God says to all of us, I put before you life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life. As a matter of fact, this week's Torah portion is a double portion. Nitzavim Vayelech. And just by the titles of these portions, I think we have a hint as to how we are supposed to accomplish what we're going to be doing over the next several weeks. First thing we need to do is Nitzavim. That's the first Torah portion. Nitzavim, I would ask Penny if it was Saturday morning what that would mean, but I'll give it to you. It means to be situated somewhere. A lot of times we think of it as we're standing. A lot of translations are we're standing here on this day. Omdim is the word stand, omed. Nitzavim, like the word matzav, is a situation. It's like we're situated, we're placed here, we exist right here. I imagine this is a little bit like if you had a drone and you put your soul on the drone, and the drone goes way up into the air and it looks back down on you so that you can see exactly where you're situated, not just physically in the world, but where you exist right now in your life, given everything you've been through, everything you want in your future. There is this place called now, right at the apex of past and future, and that's where we live every single moment. So you send up a little drone and it looks down at you and figures out, flying over your body, and you can judge yourself that way. Bereshit Rabbah says, maybe I've taken this a little too literate, fortunate is the one who is above their transgressions. Woe is the person whose transgressions are above them. The Rebbe of Piashishna, I hope that's probably not the way to pronounce it, Piaseczna, Piashishna, or something like this. That's all right. He has an idea concerning this quote. He writes, quote, can a drunkard decide to choose the good and make up their mind to no longer get drunk while they're still drunk? The mind of the one choosing is confounded with the wine, and their spirit is confused by it. With what will a person overcome to choose the holy path if their essence is that of the animal spirit that sinks downward, if their intellect is full of biases and their evil impulse, and if they understand the bad to be good and the good to be bad? Hence, a person is required to, at least occasionally, be above their transgressions, their evil impulse, their biases, and the whole world. And maybe I was reading that a little bit literally, but I really do think there's this moment right now where we just kind of hover above ourselves. We think about who we are. Where are we? What are we doing? Is this what we want to be doing? The decision to choose goodness actually rests on us. But sometimes I feel like we need to kind of spiritually separate ourselves from ourselves to observe what we're doing, because it's wholly up to us how we act. We have that decision. That's why it says, God put before us life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life. It doesn't say, I'm going to make you choose life. Maimonides teaches us this. Maimonides, I was going to say from the Middle Ages, the great thinker, probably the most brilliant man that ever lived. He writes, in reality, the undoubted truth of the matter is that humanity has full sway of all of their actions. If they wish to do a thing, they do it. If they don't wish to do it, they need not, without any external compulsion controlling them. Now, of course, there are times, I think, when when people do feel like their actions have an external influence upon them. But that's why I think we need to begin this investigation by kind of going outside of ourselves and really taking an honest look at where we are. That nitzavim becomes incredibly important. Where I'm situated now. Who am I? What am I doing? As if looking out from outside of our lives. And this doesn't have to do with any other person in the world. If you feel you've influenced by others, then right there, that could be part of your evaluation. Is I'm being controlled by outside influences. That could be a conclusion that you reach based upon looking from the outside in. So we discover our situation, where we are right now, on the edge of the new year, like the edge of a new land, like the Israelites in the Torah right now in the book of Deuteronomy. Then we need to decide how we will vayelech, which is the second Torah portion that are put together. Nitzavim, situated where we are, vayelech is the idea of moving on and moving forward. It actually, from the word holech, literally means to walk, but it could also mean the way, it could mean a path. Halacha is the way, but it's also Jewish law. So there's that halacha word, holech, that word vayelech, there's a lot that can be read into that word. But there's this midrash, Sifrei Devarim, that offers advice to us on our next move. It's an interesting midrash. Quote, a person is sitting at the crossroads. Two paths stretching before them. One whose beginning is level and whose end has thorns. And one whose beginning is thorns, whose end is level. They apprise the passerby. This path, whose beginning you see to be level, for 2 or 3 steps you will walk on level ground, and in the end on thorns. And this path, whose beginning you see to be thorny, for 2 or 3 steps you'll walk on thorns, and in the end you'll walk on level ground. Thus did Moses speak to Israel. You see the wicked prospering. For 2 or 3 days they will prosper in this world, but in the end they will be cast away. I wish that were true. I like to believe it's true. But as I read that passage, I thought, not all good paths are thorny. And not all wicked paths are easy. And in fact, my personal experience is that every path I've ever taken has thorns and flat places to walk easily. So I care more that each of us make the decision to go on the path that will make our lives authentic to us. The path that will provide us with the most self-fulfillment and light. I feel like that crossroads is more than just 2 paths. There are myriad ways for us to move forward. And I actually see it much more as turning a bicycle wheel on its side, and we're in the middle, and all those spokes are different directions that we can go in. And each one has the potential for goodness, and each has the potential for, dare I say, evil. And it's our job to discover which one brings us light. So we must base it on what we discover when we take that moment to observe ourselves in the drone above us, to take the time to really reflect and take an honest assessment of where we are in our lives right now. I wrote that and I'm like, wow, that is hard. It's very hard to be completely honest with ourselves. How we proceed next can only come after we've done that reflection of who we are and where we are and what we've done. So let us all have the strength to go on that path that leads us all to an enlightened year. Shabbat Shalom. Our service is beginning its conclusion on page 282 with the prayer Aleinu. Please rise in body or spirit. 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אחד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
I'd like us to turn to page 294. At this time, we recall those that have passed away, those that have been in our lives and are no longer with us. We first remember those in our congregation who have died in the last month, whose families are observing Shloshim: Richard Dickies, Alan Levy, Abraham Sommer, Ricardo Wetz, and Gerald Trossler. We also recall those that have died at this season in years past, whose yard sites occur on this Shabbat. Especially we remember Harriet Stone, Louis Doc Merman, David Flansbaum, Irving Cohen, Charlotte Sine, and Samuel Maikon. I'd like to ask if there is anyone here this evening who is in the midst of Shloshim, has a yard site on this Shabbat, or is in the first year after the death of a loved one. If you'd please stand and tell us who you're here to say Kaddish for. Even if I've already said the name, please do say it again.
And George Gordon, Ruth Rubenstein, Howard Zager, Bernie Rolston, David Kunkel, Susan Landau, and Hal Koski.
So we say Kaddish Yatom, if we rise together. Page 294. We say Kaddish for those that have no one to say it for them. We say all those lost in the Holocaust, those lost from COVID over the last 4 years. Those lost in the natural disasters that have taken place in our world recently. And again, those that have died in the violence of recent times. We say Kaddish for all of those souls together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'l'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kedusha b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, all Israel, the whole world. And let us say,
Amen.
You may be seated. Announcements.
I do. Before we go to the slides, I just want to say, wait, hold on, Spencer. Okay. So every week we read many, I'm focusing on Misha Berach names right now. You can see these are all names that have been submitted. So our tradition, whether it's new or not, is that as we restart the after Rosh Hashanah, if you have names that have been on here for a long time, or, of course, if someone has a chronic disease, an illness, and cancer, we know a lot of those main ones. But the list is getting very, very long, and we want to make sure to focus on those names that are most in need. So if you can, and you know that we've been reading a name, maybe we shouldn't be reading it anymore, please email kelly@tbh.org and let us know so that we have the names that are needed. And I want to remind people that it's very meaningful when you come in person and say the name or when you write it in online. This list is just getting a little long. Announcements. Join us, which is moving. Okay. Join us tomorrow night at 6:45.
I can go down the stairs.
Oh, my God. You think after this many years in the pandemic, but this is sort of new. Okay, so tomorrow night at Stephen Wise Temple, outside, Slichot under the stars, with my colleagues, Cantor Emma Lutz and Cantor Randall Schloss. With Rabbi Aaron will be participating in the service. Rabbi Lior Albin will be teaching. All the clergy from all the synagogues will be there. I would love to see you there. It's going to be beautiful music. There is a choir. There is an orchestra. Oh, okay. There is a band, and come right at 6:45 because we're going to do Havdalah. There's food, there's teachings, and then the service is, I think, about 8 or 8:15. But come early and enjoy. They have a beautiful pavilion up there, so come enjoy. Yeah, in the circular driving area. I think they want you to move. They're afraid. Okay. In case you didn't know, Rosh Hashanah is next Friday night. We get, a 2-for-1, Shabbat and Rosh Hashanah. So there you go. Please join us next Friday night. This would be a good week to read your email. That's what I would say. all your questions about everything from valet parking to do I need to bring a prayer book? No, you don't, is the answer of that. And when do I line up? When are we going to open the doors? About 15 minutes before, etc. Just go ahead and go to our website. We've worked really hard to have all the information there. If you have not gotten an email, it comes from Simple Tix, T-I-X. Check your spam, and it's all digital this year. Great.
You mean if you haven't gotten your tickets?
Right.
You said email. If you haven't
gotten the email with your tickets, is what I meant to say. Let us know, and we can print them. And if you have any issues, just show up. We have a help table, and we can print them and let you in there. Great. I guess we can still submit names for the Book of Memory.
Yes.
Probably just for a few more days. So please submit names.
Well, that's for Yom Kippur, really.
Yeah, so we have a little more time.
We have a little more time.
We do.
Oh, yeah, I'll mention this. Wait. So every year for Yom Kippur we have a Contemporary Issues Forum, and this year we're honored to have Dr. Trudy Goodman. If you don't know who Dr. Trudy Goodman is, she's the founding director of Insight LA, which is one of the preeminent mindfulness organizations in the country. And we're going to be talking about, it says there's a source of kindness. We're doing this theme because the world's a really tough place to live right now with a kind heart. And we're going to explore different ways that we can we can bring kindness back into ourselves so that we can bring that back out into other people. And what's wonderful about the timing that we're doing this is it's after all the sermons, right? And it's after all the services. So hopefully we'll all kind of be in a place where we're open to understand and accept what she has to say. And she's going to bring us through a couple of interesting meditations that we're working out right now. So, it's the middle of the afternoon on Yom Kippur. We'll be right in this nice, comfortable space. So please join us for that.
Absolutely. For those with families, Spark in the Park, just reminding you that our services, like our Erev Rosh Hashanah, everybody is here. But on the daytimes, Rosh Hashanah Day and Yom Kippur, our children's services, you can see 0 to 4 years old is at 9 a.m. and 5 to 8 years old is at 10:30 over at the Beverly Cannon Gardens. It's beautiful. Rabbi Albin will be there with Brett Fromson, who's been our song leader doing that service for many years. And it's at the Beverly Cannon Gardens. So now the park in between the Mayborn Hotel. Save your spot, that we do want registration for that. And just a reminder, Bim Bom Family Time starts again on September 30th. I think that's it. I don't know a lot about this year's drive. Do you, Rabbi Aaron? Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple things that we're doing. First of all, SOVA, which is the organization where we used to bring food in, they want everything done online. So you can go to SOVA, does it have it there?
TBH.org.
Well, you go to tbh.org /drive, and you can see all this info. The thing that we're really concentrating this year is slightly used jackets and clothing, no socks. Or you can bring new socks, but those we don't want used. And that's for the volunteer collective. So we're going to be collecting all this food, and the clothing, and we're going to make sure that they're distributed to people that really need them. So that's kind of that cold weather clothing is a really big our push this year that we're really trying to get people to give. So it's time to purge your closet. Really the way I'm thinking of it.
I just want to say I did get note. I don't even know who's greeting, if it's Tanaz but the deadline for the Book of Memory is today.
Whoa,
actually.
I spoke wrong.
So meaning not that we're encouraging use of devices on Shabbat, but if you haven't submitted your names, please do so ASAP. And then join us tomorrow morning. All of us are going to be here, including our rabbinic intern, Jake Petzold. I don't know if everybody knows that Jake, who grew up here, is our rabbinic intern this year. And so we'll see you at 10 a.m. and then up on the hill for Slichot tomorrow night.
Wonderful. Let's end our service. If you'd like to stand.
Michelle's not here. We'll do that another time. Thanks.
All right. If you want to rise, if the person will allow, put your arm around the person next to you. And we will sing our final song. Oh, Hashivenu. The words are up on the screen.
Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Adonai elecha v'nashuva Hadesh Yameinu Yameinu Venashuva.
Baruch atem b'voachem, Baruch atem b'tzeitchem. You're blessed as you came into this house. May you be blessed as you go forth. Shabbat
Amen.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom.